Hey everyone, nice to see you all. My name is Joe Clark. I'm a product manager working on Forge alongside many other awesome Atlassians. And today I'm here to talk to you about something called Forge on Forge. I'm going to show you a peek behind the curtain and look at how we're using Forge inside Atlassian to rapidly build new features and improve Forge as a platform. Now, I've been working at Atlassian for quite a long time, and as we grow into a larger and larger company, it becomes harder to have a full picture of everything that's going on and everything that everyone is working on. As I started working on this presentation, I wanted to find out how many Forge apps had been built by Atlassian employees. I knew that there was a lot of active development going on, both serious and frivolous, but I couldn't put a number on it. And I thought this would be a good number to share with you to help you understand the scale of how much exposure Forge has to our internal development teams. I thought it would be a lot, but it surprised even me to see 2,844 Forge apps in our registry, all built by Atlassian staff. And I bet there's some of you in the audience thinking, what are all these apps doing and why are there so many of them? And well, some of it stems from this guy. He's pretty influential in our company, and usually if he says something is important, we'll do something about it. Now, Mike, our co-CEO at Atlassian, is a big fan of Forge and also a great product and software thinker. In a recent review of our strategy for Forge and the Atlassian ecosystem, he commented on a page telling us that we needed to embrace internal usage of Forge, saying if we don't use it internally, we won't make it excellent. I thought this was a great rallying cry, and a reminder that many of Atlassian's most successful products like Jira, Confluence, Jira Service Management are all heavily used internally by Atlassian. And this focus on dogfooding and being our own customer has been a historical strength for Atlassian and one that we wanted to embrace when building Forge. So now we actually have a small team within the Forge development squad that's focused on internal success and adoption of Forge by other Atlassian teams. When setting up this team for success, we decided on some rules of the road that would help guide our engagements with other teams using Forge. Our first rule is no special treatment. We treat Atlassian teams building Forge apps the same way we treat any other team or any other app. If we create special exceptions or special case logic for apps that are built by Atlassian, we're eroding some of the value of dogfooding, and we're releasing pressure that would otherwise help drive improvements that benefit the platform for everyone. The second rule is that we don't recommend Forge to teams if there's a better way to do their job. Within Atlassian, developers can choose between building directly against our product code bases, building new microservices on our cloud infrastructure platform, or building an app on a platform like Forge or Connect. We're not trying to create a world where everything at Atlassian is built as a Forge app, and we only recommend Forge where it's a good fit for the problem. Finally, we encourage everyone building on Forge internally at Atlassian to stay in close communication with us and treat limitations they uncover as a discussion starter about how we can enhance Forge to meet new requirements rather than something that has to be worked around or abandoned. I want to also point out here this last point. It's a great way to enhance the platform, but it's painful. Forge isn't feature complete. We're working very hard to add a bunch of new capabilities to the platform, and we're still actively building very important, valuable capabilities that will be leveraged by hundreds of apps in the future. And the fact that they don't exist today causes pain for people who are trying to build on the platform. I know that many of you in the audience have been early users of Forge and have also experienced this pain of discovering that Forge has a limitation you need to be solved. I want to say personally that I really appreciate you coming on this journey with us. Getting this feedback helps us evolve Forge and build out the platform to build the right features that work in the way you expect, ultimately resulting in a better final product in the end. So the fact that we get this dogfooding and feedback from both internal and external development teams is really helping us shape Forge to be the best it can be in the future. One of the really happy outcomes of promoting usage of Forge internally has been for ShipIt, our quarterly company-wide hackathon. In fact, over 70 Forge apps have been built on Forge during ShipIts over the last few years. We've seen that Forge is so good for rapidly setting up a development environment to iterate on new features within our products that it has become a bit of a go-to setup for Atlassians looking to get cracking on their next new feature idea for Atlassian products. If you'd like to have a closer look at what it's been like building Forge apps internally for ShipIt and other internal hackathons, I encourage you to go to the session for Developer Day and look for the Innovation and Dogfooding with the Atlassian Karmabot session by Ben Ryan. It's in the beginner track. I work with Ben, he's a great guy, and it's a good session. We also have another source of internally created apps, both serious and just for fun, which we call Forge Club. Forge Club is an internal project we launched in the lead up to Forge's generally available launch last year to get the engineers working on the Forge platform to also build Forge apps. The idea being that through this exercise, we would help build empathy for the builders working on our platform and help drive good experience and quality decisions in our day-to-day work. Now, before I go any further, I want to confirm that I am allowed to talk about Forge Club, and no developers were harmed in creating this parody of the famous 99 film. Since launching, we've had over 80 Forge apps created in this program, including one by yours truly. I built a Forge app for Forge Club to integrate Jira with a content management system called Contentful, so that a user could use Jira issues to track the content review workflow for their articles in Contentful and automatically publish the content when the review workflow in Jira was completed. Building this app gave me a good understanding of how to build product event triggers in Forge, which is a feature that my team is actually responsible for. And I also discovered a bug in the Forge runtime with the API.fetch function that was fixed and shipped externally because I discovered it and reported it. Now I'd like to move away from the multitude of fun and less serious apps we've built and take a look at some of the real ones, starting with the Compass team. I've been working with part of the Compass team who are building out their integration with Jira as a Forge app. You may have heard in the keynote from Adarsh and Tim that Compass is a new product in development from Atlassian, and it's really embracing customization and extensibility via Forge as part of the product's value proposition. Compass's Jira integration is currently in active development, and the team is hoping to launch it later this year. I spoke to my fellow product manager, Katie Silver, who's a product manager on the Compass team, about what her team's experience has been like and what she would like to share with other developers building on Forge in the ecosystem. I'm sure her experience will resonate with some of you in the audience. She said that for their team, the value proposition of Forge and the pitch for why Forge is a great way to build apps made a lot of sense. No new infrastructure, no services to maintain, easy to deploy and roll out, and the serverless model of execution was well suited to their team's use case. The experience, though, of discovering rough edges and missing pieces in Forge has been super frustrating for her and her team. It's caused some delays to their deliverables, and it's made it hard for them to estimate their future work, not knowing when they're going to discover another problem that needs to be fixed. Katie and her team have been giving us heaps of feedback that we've been using to create more public Forge tickets in our bug reporting backlog and to tune our roadmap in terms of what we want to improve in Forge next. One of the #1 asks from her team has to be to follow through on our commitment to remove the allow access prompt for all users because it's very disruptive to the user flow they've designed. So rest assured, not a week goes by where I don't get reminded about the fact that many app developers are waiting desperately for that enhancement to be shipped. And we truly understand the importance of following through on that commitment. Looking at another real Forge app, this one has been built by the Jira DevOps team. And I know some of you are eagerly awaiting support for Jira Open DevOps in Forge. I spoke to Tom Hombergs, an engineer who has been leading the build out of the Jenkins for Jira app on Forge. And he's using this app to trailblaze the experience of building Jira DevOps apps on Forge as a precursor to this functionality being made available to external developers. The app launched earlier this year on the Atlassian marketplace and already has over 400 installs. Tom said that the biggest blocker for them have been setting up testing and deployment of custom UI with React. This conceptual model of having a single page app inside an app was a bit counterintuitive and required a bit of time spent on configuration and setup that wasn't really well documented or had a lot of guidance provided from the Forge platform. The other big one that he mentioned was the single owner model for apps has made it really difficult for his team to set up effective workflows for them to work on the one app collaboratively. And they've had to hack a bunch of scripts together to change the app ID so that they can each have their own development loop. On the positive side, though, Tom said it was really cool to be able to create an app and have it deployed and installed into Jira in just a few minutes. And using Forge has been great for spiking out ideas and setting up a quick feedback cycle. So that brings us to the end of this whirlwind tour of Forge apps built within Atlassian. Of those 2,800 apps, I was able to give you a glimpse of 4 of them. We're using Forge internally for fun projects, to road test new features of the platform before launching them, to build empathy and understanding of the Forge developer persona within our platform teams, and also to ship authentic, high-quality user experiences to customers. Working on Forge has been a big journey so far, both for me personally and for Atlassian the company, and we're still only just at the beginning. We're going to continue to champion for the development of even more Atlassian authored Forge apps, because when Atlassian builds on Forge, we make Forge better for everyone. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed this session.